Imagine waking up tomorrow, opening your laptop, and a fresh batch of brand new leads is already waiting for you. You may or may not remember this. In a previous video, I showed you vibe prospecting, how to pull leads from Google Maps just by talking to Claude. However, no matter how useful this method might be, there is one question we failed to answer. Do I still have to ask every single day? No, you don't. In this video, I will show you why you should seriously think of automating your prospecting, how to set it up in 5 simple steps using Claude, and how to make the most of it once the system is up and running. But first, let's start with a quick recap. As a reminder, getting leads with Claude has never been easier. Unfortunately, it cannot do much on its own. You might need to couple it with a prospecting tool. For example, Scrap.io. If you are looking to script Google Maps, Apple Maps, or Big Maps, this is hands down the tool you need. So I'm assuming you have created 2 accounts. One on Claude.ai, or its twin brothers. If you pick up Claude, I invite you to subscribe to at least Claude Pro, as it unlocks Claude Code alongside Claude Cowork. We are going to need those. And one on Scrap.io, or another prospecting tool. By the way, you have access to a free trial with a link in the description. Once you get both pieces of your puzzle, you should find a bridge to close the gap between them. Something that lets an AI assistant talk directly to Scrap.io. That bridge has a name, as it is called an MCP. Yes, it has the same function as an API, with the slight difference that it doesn't require you to code nor to set up a complex infrastructure. When both apps are connected, you can just type something like, using Scrap.io, find me dental clinics in Austin with no website. And Claude runs the search on Scrap.io's database and hands you the results in a matter of seconds. You describe what you want and you get it. That's vibe prospecting. It is insanely powerful, but it is still manual. You have to show up and ask. This brings me to another point, meaning turning a manual process into a recurring and automating task. And here is why this matters more than it sounds. Prospecting isn't a one-time event. The best leads are time-sensitive. A new listing that appeared on the map yesterday, a firm with a status switched to open, a company that just added a phone number. If you scrap the whole city once and never again, like flowers, leads will start to wither. And you miss everything that shows up after you run it. The pros don't scrape once. They scrape on a drip, so they are always first to the newest opportunities, and they never burn a whole afternoon doing it. The problem doing that manually is exactly the type of boring and repetitive task nobody keeps up with. You do it for 1 week and then life happens and you stop. So let's hand it to a machine that never forgets. About the setup, the first step is to connect Scrap.io to Claude. If you already did this, skip ahead. You can find a timecode in the description. If not, it takes 30 seconds. In Claude, go to Customize, Connectors, Add Custom Connectors, type a name with the MCP URL, which is https://scrap.io/mcp, and click Add. That links Claude to your Scrap.io account, and it respects your plan. So whatever your subscription allows, Claude can do. Claude can now search, scrape, and export from Scrap.io on your behalf. Step 2. Write the prompt once. Let's get the prompt right by running it live once to make sure that the output is exactly what we want. Here is my scenario. I run a web agency in Chicago and I want to get all businesses that appeared on Google Maps in the past 7 days with no website. So I type, using Scrap.io, find every business in Chicago first detected on Google Maps in the last 7 days with no website and a phone number present. Export and give me the file. Notice Claude shows me the count before exporting. Counting is always free. You never spend a credit just to see how many results there are. You only spend credits when you actually export. There is a file, and because Scrap.io rescripts everything in real time, this data is verified the moment it's generated, not pulled from a stale database. The prompt works, now we can make it run on its own. Step 3. Turn it into a scheduled task. I type run this prompt every Monday at 8 AM and send me the file. But wait, before typing enter, make sure to use the proper Claude model. A recurring task won't work on a bland Claude chat. For that, we have at our disposal Claude Code and Claude Cowork. They should lead you straight into the desktop app of Claude. For the rest of the video, I will jump into Claude Cowork as it seems to be the most user-friendly solution. Scheduled tasks have their own dedicated tab, but for the record, the same principle applies for Claude Code under a different name. That's it. Claude saves it as a recurring task. You can edit, delete, and run it by checking the Scheduled tab. Every Monday morning at 8 AM, Claude will wake up, run that exact Scrap.io search, export the fresh batch, and deliver it to me. Step 4. Kill the duplicates. Now, one problem with running daily or weekly, you don't want the same businesses showing up in every file. Scrap.io solves this, as it can automatically exclude contacts you have already exported in previous searches. So I refine my scheduled prompts, exclude any business I've already exported before, so every file only contains new leads. One might argue that in a case like mine, this extra line is completely unnecessary as I have already filtered by date. But don't be fooled, even in this case, assuming a company can have multiple locations, it's still worth removing duplicates from the website domain. Exclude any business I've already exported before based on the website root URL, so every file only contains new leads. Now, each delivery is purely fresh leads. No repeats, no manual cleanup, even across weeks of automated runs. That is such a lifesaver. Step 5. Managing your tasks. We've got one task. Nothing prevents us from multiplying and running them at once, as long as we have the credits to do so. This is a part people underestimate. You are not just automating a search. You are building a fleet of automated robots, each one with a different purpose. Finally, let's discuss about what to do next. Because a daily file of leads is only worth something if you actually act on it. So here is a guideline. First, keep the batches small and specific. A focused list of 20 brand new businesses with no website beats a dump of 5,000 random ones. Second, chain it to your outreach. Because everything runs through the MCP or the API, you can take this further. Pipe the file straight into your cold email tool, your CRM, or a make.com scenario. So the leads don't just land in a folder, they land in a sequence. Third, be first, not loud. The whole point of a daily drip is that you reach these businesses before anyone else does. A new owner who has never been pitched is a completely different conversation than one who has had 10 agencies email them. The timing does the selling, so show up early. And remember, every filter is applied before the export, so you only spend credits on the leads you actually use. Why not try it yourself? With a link in the description, your first 100 leads are completely free.